Hi, and welcome to this week's episode, which will be all about stepmom. What are you scared of? So, I ask you on Instagram, what are you scared of when it comes to your blended family? And I got a few interesting comments or reactions. One of them was that what kind of relationship should I have with the ex-wife? So, this is one of the topics which, like, we tend as a stepmoms really overthinking. And I did an episode about I think the top 5 mistakes I made at the beginning when it comes to relationship with with the mother of my stepdaughter. When we tend to overthinking, like we and I will talk about it a little bit later, how we sometimes are scared of hurting people or upsetting people, or we try to be the friends with the ex, and it just doesn't work, and then we make ourselves wrong for it. So there's no really right and wrong answer for what sort of relationship you have to have with your with the ex-wife. But I would suggest, like, just think about it, like, what relationship, co-parenting relationship has your partner and the ex-wife have together. And then you can see, well, okay, they are not really in good terms, so I don't think I should be worried about having a relationship with her at all at this point, because first they have to sort out their relationship before I try to have some sort of relationship with her. So that's one of the things that you don't need to really worry about it. You don't need to push yourself, especially please don't push yourself into some sort of relationship with her if it feels wrong. And stop overthinking it. That's my advice, because that's what we do. We overthinking, and we try to analyze, and we try to come up with the best solution that will have the best thing for our blended family. But sometimes not having the relationship with the ex-wife is the way the way to go, and it's absolutely okay. Don't compare with other stepmoms, because some stepmoms, they say, oh, we have a great relationship, we can go for coffee, we can go for drinks, we can be at the Christmas together, and then you are like, wow, okay, how I can get that, because at this point we barely stand each other. So, like, yeah, well, maybe you will never ever be able to spend Christmas together, and that's okay. So look first what kind of co-parenting relationship your partner has with her, and then doesn't mean that you have to match it, or you have to, if they have a bad relationship, it doesn't mean that you have to have a bad relationship with her as well, or you have to be nasty to her. It just means, okay, this is time for me to step back and don't be involved. And I did a lot of podcast episodes on this sort of topic, so go, you can visit my podcast and have a look and see, you will find there are other episodes which will help you with when it comes to the ex-wife issue, or topics, or suggestions, whatever you need, you will find it in the podcast. Another thing that Ivan stepmom said that she's scared of, that the co-sleeping will never stop. So this particular stepmoms, they don't co-sleep with the stepchild in the bed, in their own bed, but the dad is co-sleeping with the child in the kids' room, and she's worried that it will never stop. And co-sleeping is such a huge issue. I find out the last couple of years, every time when someone brings it up, there are a lot of stepmoms coming and say, yeah, we have the same problem. The kids are scared, the kids are worried or something, and then we end up having my stepchild in our bed for the night. It doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel comfortable, it feels wrong. So a lot of stepmoms are dealing with co-sleeping in any kind of way when the children are not able to stay overnight by themselves in their own room or bed. So I will have a podcast guest in the next couple of weeks, and she should help us with this. So stay tuned, subscribe to my podcast or YouTube channel, and you will get more answers for how to deal with co-sleeping. But I would highly recommend get some sleeping therapist if it gets out of the way. Talk to your partner, but really just be careful. Don't try to make him wrong, or look as he's a bad father. think about the kids. It must be really hard for them to go from home to home, especially if they are young, or if they are not with you every weekend, or if they're coming for every other weekend. It can be really traumatic for them to have, not being with mom, first of all, and then secondly, they are in a new home. Even though if you live there for years, and it's still different for them, you need to support the children somehow to make them confident to, to be able to sleep alone. And I guarantee that if I would talk to a stepmom about this, she will say that when she had a conversation with her partner about this, he kind of twisted in a way that you don't like my kids, or you jealous, or something like that. And you just need to make sure that your partner understands it's not about jealousy, it's not about that you don't like the kids. It's just because, I don't know, and it feels weird, or it feels like the children should be able by now to sleep by themselves. And I did a podcast about my 5 favorite communication tools, so you can have a look or listen to that, because they are great tools how to bring up tricky topics and talk about them in a way that you limit the upset, or you limit the possibility that your partner will take it, personally or different way than he should. Another answer or comment on what he's scared of was that one stepmom said that she's not able to have her children, and she said, I will never be mom, and I will always feel as like an outsider in my family, because I will never have my own child, or I will, there's no big chance, or whatever is the story. And if you feel like outsider, even if there's like either a case like you can't have a children, or it's not on the list right now, it's just like, well, right now we don't have a children, but I still feel like an outsider. Thinking about it, maybe create something that is truly yours and your partner's. Create something, I don't know, I don't want to say like replace baby with a puppy. That's not a thing. But have a look if you can create something that it makes you feel better, or makes you feel more special, or if you feel like outsider, talk to your partner about it. 100% talk to about him, because he needs to know, or she needs to know how you feel and what are you dealing with, because it obviously can bring a lot of upset, resentment, or a lot of upset into your relationship, and it's not kind of fair on him, because he has no idea what you're dealing with inside you. So just talk to him and make it clear that where you stand, and you will see, maybe you will be able to create something that will take the I feel like an outsider away. I felt that way at the beginning, because they had a lot of jokes, or a lot of things were going on, and I always felt like, well, where is my place where I do belong? So I felt a little like an outsider, but it was obviously a different case. It's not a case that that's serious as not being able to have a children. So you feel that's way bigger topic, way bigger issue, or heavy feeling. So that's something completely different, and I don't want to compare that. So when I felt like an outsider, it was just because I didn't know where is my place in that blended family, or in that dynamic right now, like at that moment, and I had to just find myself. So feeling like an outsider, it can be really scary, but think about it. Why are you feeling that way? And how you can take it away, what you can do, what could help, what would just make it go away, at least at some point or some way, maybe not completely, but it will help you. So just think about that. And then there was another one which kind of, I was surprised, or I was just like, well, I need to talk about that. And that was being, Stepmum commented that being scared of being forced into situations I'm not comfortable with. And I was like, well, when you tell kids, like, nobody forces you, nobody forces you in a way that And I had to look at that because that's sometimes, and I'm not saying that's the case of this stepmom. I don't know the whole story. I don't know what kind of situation these are. But what I found out myself is that a lot of times I thought like, well, I'm being forced to give up something, or I had to do it because I am a stepmom, and that's how it is, and that's the way it is. And then I was like, oh, well, hold on, wait a second. Nobody said that I have to do it. I thought I have to do it. Or even my husband, he had some requests or some, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? And it didn't feel right for me, or I didn't want to do it. But I was like, well, I have to do it because otherwise I will upset him, or I will look like a terrible partner and a stepmom and whatever. So that kind of like forcing, which is not forcing. It's like you can't use it like, oh, I've been forced to something. It's like, no, you agree with it. No, like they ask you, they put you into certain positions, but it's up to you how you're gonna deal with it. And I know that sometimes it's just you can't make it better at that point, or you can't take yourself out of the situation, and you are in a ways you force yourself into doing that, whatever it is. Let's say it's pickups in for the school runs, and you said it at the beginning, yeah, that's fine with me, I do the pickups, or drop-offs or whatever. And then later, as you go, you say like, well, it doesn't really fit right now with me, with my life, or things change, or my job changed, or I have to, with the lockdown and everything, my situation has changed, and I can't do pickups anymore, and it just doesn't work for me. At this point, even though you agree with it before, it's your place to speak up and just say, hey, I can't do it anymore. It doesn't work. It just, I can't handle this. Blah, blah, blah. Explain yourself. And then just like, we have to come up with something else. We have to come up with a different solution for this. Maybe every other day, or whatever, whatever that means for you and how it would help you. But if you don't speak up and you're still doing the pickups or school runs, whatever you do, and then you can like, oh, they're forcing me, or my husband forcing me to do that. It's like, no, he didn't force you. You agree with something before, things change, now it doesn't work for you, so it's your place to speak up, to communicate that, because he's not forcing you, he's just counting on you to do that, because that was agreement you had before. But if things changed, just talk. You need to speak up, you need to be stand for yourself. So when someone said like, oh, they're forcing me into situations I'm not comfortable with, it's like, well, nobody put a gun into your head. You need to be. And I did an episode about the boundaries, how to create and maintain healthy boundaries for yourself. And I will be perfectly honest here. The boundaries you are creating are not for other people. You are creating the boundaries for yourself. So one more time again. You are creating the boundaries for yourself, not for others. Yes, the boundaries are guidelines for other people, kind of like how to treat you. But you are setting the boundaries for yourself because you don't want to be treated certain way. You don't want to be speak a certain way. So whatever you create, the boundaries, the situations you've been forced into, nobody forced you. You gave them permission to do that. You didn't speak up. Maybe you have to go through really just annoying, frustrating, terrible thing, like as let's stick with the pickup, and you hate doing that, but you do that. But then, okay, I did it this time, but then I have a conversation about it and say like, okay, I'm not doing that again because XYZ. It makes me feel XYZ. And or just talk, because I said, and this is kind of, we had this conversation with my husband a few weeks back, and it was in terms, we were talking about someone, and I said, it's hard for the person to kind of like, how do you expect that people will respect you if you don't respect yourself in that particular relationship or situation? So, and he just looked at me and he said, that's so true, because how can you expect people respecting you? So in terms of certain relationship, let's say relationship with your stepchildren, and it's like, they don't respect me. And I was like, well, but do you fully respect yourself as a stepmom, as a woman, as a wife? Do you fully respect yourself? Do you fully respect your boundaries? If not, then you can't expect that they will respect you. And yeah, of course, kids will go and they will do funny things and say funny things, and that's not necessarily mean that they don't respect you. It's just they're just being teenagers, or they're just being funny. But again, if they will say some comment, just like, you know what, I'm not interested in these comments, just, don't say that ever again. So again, it's about how do you respect yourself, and it shows in the relationship. There were things that I didn't respect myself about in my own marriage or relationship with my husband before we got married, and I didn't respect myself as a stepmom in so many ways. And well, how could I expect that other people will respect me as a stepmom, or how they will look at me? So it's really about getting the boundaries in a way that works for you, and you stick to them, and you maintain them, and you can change them as you go, because you find out it works differently now, or situation changed, the relationship changed. But start looking, if you're saying like, oh, they forced me to do something, start looking at it as like, I gave them permission to tell me that, or I gave them permission to treat me that way. Anywhere, because you didn't speak up for yourself, or you haven't been stand for yourself. And I don't want to make you look bad or small or anything like that, but sometimes, and I wish someone did it to me when I was at the beginning of my stepmom journey, I wish that someone would come to me and just either shoot with me or just gave me a slap and just say, wake up. And sometimes we need that. We need someone to be perfectly honest with us and just say, nobody forced you. You gave them permission. Same with the boundaries. You are not creating the boundaries for others. You are creating them for yourself. So keep that in your mind, and it should start shifting your mindset about these things and situations. So, and it's not making you small, making you wrong. It's just that kind of wake up call or shake that I wish someone gave me years ago, because it would make my life so much easier. But when I was thinking about like 3 things what I was scared of, and I can see a lot of stepmoms are scared of still. Either they are new stepmoms or they have been stepmoms for years, but they still, main 3 things that we are scared of as stepmoms. First thing is making a mistake. And oh dear, how many mistakes I made. Over the nearly 6 years I've been stepmom. Oh man, I made so many mistakes. But lately I started saying lessons. And I was like, they were my lessons, because from every mistake I made, I learned something. And I changed my mindset. I slowly, sometimes it took a while to realize what happened and realize when I went wrong and what exactly the mistake was. But it just, when you start telling him, okay, that was a good lesson. And we start doing that with my husband a lot when things go wrong in the business, and in relationships, in anywhere, like whatever we do, and something just goes wrong, and my husband is upset about it. I was like, well, I know it sounds really annoying, but lesson learned. Now we know, or now that you shouldn't be doing X, Y, Z, or you shouldn't be talking to a person like that, or there is always some sort of lesson behind it. So I would just say, keep an eye on that and just start seeing them as your lessons. One thing is that I always thought that I made mistakes. And then later on it showed up like, well, it wasn't really a mistake. There was just miscommunication or misunderstanding. So it's not like I completely screwed up something. It was just, there was no communication at all, or there was misunderstanding or miscommunication. And it looked like it was a mistake or it's something really terrible happened. But looking back, I was like, no, I didn't make a mistake. We just didn't talk. Or we didn't make it really clear, and now it looked like I screwed up, but I didn't screw up, or I didn't make mistake. So try not to overthinking your mistakes. Just have a look. Okay, why that happened? When something like that happened, it's like, okay, how did we get ourselves here? Or how did I get here? What happened? And just thinking, okay, well, I wasn't clear, or I didn't ask, or I understood that he was saying completely something else, or or there was, yes, just get it clear on where is the communication, because usually the mistakes happen when there's no communication at all, there's misunderstanding or miscommunication, and again, if there's misunderstanding, it's, he was talking about this, I was talking about that, but we didn't really get each other. And, it's really about communication. So if you find yourself that you're not clear, or there is a mistake, and you're like, well, it happened because we didn't say it, or we didn't talk about it. That's a lesson. That's a lesson for you to learn to improve your communication skills or your communication with your partner. That, okay, it's not enough. Whatever we are doing, that's not enough, because obviously we keep repeating, or we keep finding ourselves in the same situation all over again. So we need to have a look at it. So communication, when it comes to mistakes, look at them as your lessons, no mistakes. And most of the time, like I would say 19% of mistakes are happening because of the communication. There's something wrong, something missing in your communication, or there was something missing in the person communications, and that's fine. That's something we can sort out in the future and learn from it. Another thing, the second, I think, main issue is what we are really scared of is we don't want to hurt or upset the other person. So we don't want to hurt the stepchildren, our partners, the ex-wife, the mother-in-law. We just tend to please people and being really careful and not to say stuff, or just tiptoeing around, which is like not even taking actions because we think it will upset someone or it will hurt someone. And this is, I think, very common issue, because I can see a lot of stepmoms, and I've been there, and I still find sometimes myself in the situation when I'm just tiptoeing around, or I'm not speaking up, even though I know whatever is going on is wrong, or it needs some help, or my husband needs support, or I need to stand for myself or true to myself. I'm just tiptoeing because I don't want him to be upset, or I don't want to do something, take actions, and it will upset his ex-wife. So this is or now being pregnant, I don't want to do things that will upset my stepdaughter or make her feel that I am pushing her away. So there's been, like, I think a lot of stepmoms, and I come to that with this in the second point. We are just talking like, oh, we can't do that because we are stepmoms, or we can't do this. And you can. And how is that you need to stand for yourself. And that's actually the third, and I think that's the biggest thing that we are scared of as a stepmoms, are being stand for ourselves, speaking up, speaking of our truth, is having a voice, like Megan said, every woman has her voice, she just needs to use it. Exactly. Like, you just have to have you have to speak up, because the voice is inside you. The voice is telling you, this is not okay, I'm not happy with this, I need to change this, I need forcing, if you feel like they're forcing you into certain things, like you give them permission, you need to use that voice and speak and say like, this is not okay, I'm not happy about this. And not obviously you go and like, "Arr!" but in a way that it works for everyone and everyone gets you, or at least like start getting you. It's being stand for myself means putting my foot down. So that's very similar to using your voice, and I think that's just another level. Like first you start using your voice and speaking up, and then it goes to another level when you really just put your foot down, and it's like, okay, that's enough. And I think the best example for me, it was at the beginning when we were still dating with my husband, and he was going through his divorce, and they had a mediator, which it just didn't work for them. I'm not sure. I don't know this guy. I never met him. I'm sure he's a great person, and everything. I know he's been doing some stuff like that for a while. But it was at the point when he had a lot of things going on in his personal life, and he traveled a lot, and there was never the communication was just, everything was taking so long because of the mediator wasn't there for them 100% or 24/7 or Monday to Friday. He wasn't there, and I didn't say anything for a few months or some time, and then one day I lost it. And I didn't even put my foot down. I just threw a tantrum. But I just said, like, it's enough. You need to sort it out, because this guy just doesn't work for you. You and your your ex-wife. It just doesn't work, and you need to do something about it, because otherwise we're gonna be here half a year later or a year later without moving forward. And it's like, it just doesn't work. And obviously I sweared and I cried and I was really angry, but it helped. My husband picked up the phone, called his ex-wife, and they start communicating, they start talking, they choose someone else to help them out with communication, which is absolutely normal. And I will highly recommend for co-parents or divorcing parents to get someone who will help them to communicate, because there are a lot of hurt feelings, there's a lot of things going on, and I'm a big fan of having the additional support when you're going through divorce or breakup or separation, whatever you're going through. I highly recommend that. It's brilliant, but the person needs to work for you. Both of you, both, like the partner, the parents, not you, because it's not really your business, isn't it? But it needs to work for the co-parents. And then it's brilliant. And I'm big like, yeah, get a help, get a mediator, get a coach, get someone who will help you to move forward faster and in much easier way. So that was my big put foot down. And that happened ages ago. And certain things, like, yeah, I still put my foot down, but it's not so dramatic, or it doesn't it's not a tantrum or that. It was bad. I was bad. Like, I don't even remember. I remember just my husband's face when he looked at me, and I was like, okay, well, she's serious now. Another thing is like, when it comes to being stand for yourselves, I hear a lot of stepmoms complaining about finances, that they've been putting a lot of money into their blended families because the ex-wife is spending more money than she should, or the dad is paying more than he should, or he lost his job because of COVID. So there are cases when she has, like, I understand, like, it's certain things we need to help, or I will be able, if I need to, that I will be helping my husband. That's fine. But in the UK, there are a lot of benefits, a lot of ways how to get the money to the ex without you losing your money. So always check what is possible, what is available there for you before you start losing, kind of like losing your money and putting towards the money into the different household, and then you end up not having money, or really living on the edge because you can't afford things because you went to the different household. So this is a really tricky area, finances and blended families. But again, if you're scared to tell your partner that, hey, I can't do this anymore, we're not even married, and I'm paying money to a different household, and then I don't have money for myself or my stuff, that's not okay. And if you feel like that's not okay for you, you need to speak up. You need to be stand for yourself. And it's not about not supporting your partner or not helping him out. It is realizing what is okay and what is not okay for you. And I must say, like, I probably would, like, when it comes to finances, I would be no, dude, you are alone in that. Like, unless there is emergency or something, yeah, I'm happy to help. But otherwise, no. You have to find a way how to deal with that. You need to find way to deal with that. And that brings me to another topic, which is it's tolerating that. And this is a big one. And not easy to say. This is one when you feel like the ex-wife is treating your partner or husband like a doormat. And I said it, yeah, it's a thing that I think a lot of stepmoms are dealing with. I understand, before I go to more details, I understand that sometimes at the beginning of the, before the divorce, during divorce or separation, or things are getting difficult, I understand that sometimes the dads are just stepping back and let kind of, the ex-wives go away with a bit more, just because it just makes their life easier. But or they don't really care about it, because there are certain issues that we see is like that this would never happen, or I hate this. But just have a look, have a thing, like talk to your partner about it, like, do you really care about how she treats you, or why is this happening? But I know that a lot of stepmoms are struggling with how the ex-wives are treating their husband, how, like, kind of using them, or like financially, in terms of the finances are a massive topic, in terms of time with the children. So there is a lot of things that the dads are scared of, and the single dad guilt, even if I still saying sometimes, like, my husband, he's not obviously single dad anymore for some time, long time, but he's still dealing with the single dad issues, which are, the time management, which are the benefits, whatever it includes, he's still dealing with it. And one thing is, just be careful when you see that the ex-wife is mistreating him, or is treating him as a doormat, like doormat. Seriously, there are couples like that. When stepmoms tell me she's just treating him as like a doormat, and I hate it. Think about it. Why do you hate it? Because you will stop respecting your partner, because you feel like he's not respecting himself. This time, in this situation, you need to talk to your partner and find out, is that because he just doesn't care? And that's fine sometimes. You say, you know what, I don't care about this issue. I'm glad she shut us up. I'm glad she just goes away. I don't care if she talks to me this way. I don't take it personally. She doesn't talk to me like that in front of kids, so that's okay. So just double check that before you go and will be upset, because I guarantee there are a lot of things that they just don't care about, and it's fine, But if you start feeling like you don't respect him, or you feel resentment towards him, that's the issue, and that will ruin your relationship slowly. So keep an eye on it. If you feel that way, talk to him. I had a few chats like that. I had like, do you really care about this? Or, is upsetting me more than is upsetting him. And it's absolutely okay. But you need to communicate that. You need to get it clear with your partner that like, that's okay or that's not okay. Another thing we are really scared of is asking for what we want. And there's always something that we just don't want to ask because we think, oh, I'm stepmom, or it's not my place, or I will look like a terrible person, or whatever, it's your internal inside voice telling you. You just need to start asking for what you need, what you want, how you feel. The communication is absolutely, key to everything. And if you're scared of something, you need to communicate that. Maybe not with your partner straight away. Maybe you need to talk to your friend first. Maybe you need to get a coach. Maybe you need to go to therapy to get rid of something, some other issues or other problems in your life. Oh, sorry, my voice is getting funny a little bit. But you need to do something. Like no one is forcing you. I'm not forcing you to give me a call and sign up for a coaching program. Your partner is not forcing you to do X, Y, Z. You're giving the permission to other people. You are in charge of your life. You are in charge in terms of your reactions, your actions, or actions you're gonna take, how you react to things. It's you who is in charge of your life and your thoughts and your actions. So start looking at it this way. And if you feel scared of something, if it's the finances, if it's talking to your partner that this is not okay, if you're scared of hurting people, have a deep look inside your head and heart and guts. Why is this happening? Why is this issue? Why I am scared? What is missing? What is wrong? And not what is wrong with me necessarily, but what is wrong in this situation. Wrong is that I don't communicate. So have a look on that. Please don't be scared. If you are scared of something or there are issues, please do let me know. You have my email. You can leave a comment. You can DM me on a social media. And you are not alone. There's always someone out there who is ready to help you, to support you. So if you are scared of something, even though you think it's the silliest thing ever, talk to somebody, because I'm guarantee you're not alone who feels that way. And I've been scared a lot in the past, and I'm still sometimes scared of speaking up, but it's in a way that I know I need to kind of change the approach or change my communication, and then it works. Thank you for listening. Please do subscribe, like, or comment, or let me know what you think in the reviews or comments. And thank you very much again.